Hey, welcome back to All About the Geek. I am your host, as always, Jason Isaac, the Tyrant Director, and today we are going to be doing an unboxing of Beasts and Bronze, the Rise of Tribe expansions that was kickstarted earlier last year. I got my package February or March, but yeah, so it's a little bit delayed, but rather than faff about here, let's get into it. So, like I said in the intro, what we're looking at here is the expansion, Beasts and Bronze from Rise of Tribes. So, I backed this on Kickstarter and got the main Beasts and Bronze expansion set, as well as I backed for a few bonus things like the Mesa Hex tile and the solo play set. So this extra piece here, the Volkith Invasion, is a solo mode that also includes a new tribe. So let's take a look at what came in all these boxes. My understanding is all of this stuff, except possibly the Mesa, which may only be available at cons and stuff. The rest of the stuff should all be available at retailers at some point soon, if not already. So we'll start with the first box, then we'll go into the Volkith Invasion, and then we'll take a look at the Mesa expansion. Now I have already opened this just to get a quick glance at what's in there. So here's the rulebook. And like the rest of Breaking Game stuff, the rulebooks are quite detailed. I don't want to give away all of their secrets, but it's super heavy cardstock or paper stock. It's just gorgeous, well-made manuals. If you've never played one of the Breaking Games games, the two I'm most familiar with are Rise of Tribes and Expansity, and I intend to do how to play videos on both of those games, even though they both come with excellent rules manuals. I still think it's worthwhile to actually see some gameplay. So what we're dealing with here is we've got some beautiful wood tokens. So we've got our mammoth and a bunch of other things. We've got our bear token. This looks like some sort of wildebeest token. A wolf, I believe, and a saber-toothed tiger, as well as 3 eagle tokens. It looks to me like there's some probably mechanism for fitting them into these slots here, but the rulebook, and this is one of the things that I looked for when I was looking at it, is the rulebook doesn't really give you a layout of how, oh, it's the Auroch, how they should fit into those tiles, which is a little thing that it's always like one of those nice to have extras that they didn't, in this case, provide. We also have a series of new cards. So let's just get a knife to open this up. Now, if you're not familiar with Rise of Tribes, it is got some really interesting mechanics. One of the most interesting and one of my favorite mechanics that I've seen, which is this concept where you roll the dice every age or year or cycle. I can't remember what the term, there's like, I hate this when they do this with these things. But you roll the dice and they then shift one over. So you're rolling 2 dice, there's already some dice on the board, and you get to decide kind of the order in which things shift, and that affects how things go. But they've got these really strong, so these are, I think, new tiles that can be in play. It's been a while since I played, but they're lovely, heavy cardstock. And they're unlike a lot of games, and partly I'm sure it's a consideration, how big do you make this versus having people punch these out themselves, right? Because these ultimately are, you can feel like they were built and then cut out So the light is making it hard to see them. So, but anyway, there's some cool things here, including one of the cards here gives you the option to push the dice back the other way. I believe it's this first one here. Push dice backwards. So pay any resource to push a die from the right instead of the left. Discard when at least one of each resource is present on the card. So this is just the way that the advancements in the game work. I think it's, again, a really cool mechanic. Again, I will do a review and how to play to make some of these things more interesting. These are actually the cards that the players would get, I believe, and these are trade route cards. So the idea is the original game takes place in the Stone Age, and then advances with this expansion into the Bronze Age. So there's new things, more opportunities for hunting different creatures, etc. I seem to have, I'm not happy with that. So the way these are packaged, there's no seam or anything. And opening it up, the cards appear to be a little on the fragile side. So there's quite a number of cards here included. They are, again, really, so this is metallurgy, these are different technologies. The start of your turn, for each of your villages, eliminate any tribe member from a hex you occupy. So metallurgy is dangerous, as they say on Forge and Fire. And some little rules on the back of the card. And there we go. Get some focus tracking there. And trade routes. So this is some option, but this is the one where you can see I just kind of nicked the card while I was unpackaging it, which is not a happy thing, nothing I'm really happy about. But those slot nicely in there. Those probably are supposed to go over here, and now I've wedged them in here. I do appreciate a well-designed organization tray, but I do really appreciate, now is there anything underneath? No, there's nothing underneath there. I do appreciate if they kind of give you some indication of where they expect you to put the things. So that goes there, and that makes it easier for them to come out. I don't know that would these fit in there? Sometimes they do things like, oh, if you put them in there at an angle. No, those are not going to go in there. So those will go there. These go here. And then theoretically, I feel like these should fit in here in specific ways. So for instance, the eagles very clearly fit in that slot. And then maybe the tiger and the wolf go here. But like, and the bear fits in here pretty well. But I don't know a way that I would fit the mammoth in here. And that was actually the one piece that I kind of was playing with this earlier. So the mammoth can just go there for now. All right, so that is the Rise of Tribes. Now, I'm not going to go over the rules for this. I just want to kind of go through the components. And when I do my gameplay and how to play of Rise of Tribes, I will do Rise of Tribes, and then I will do part of that as well. We'll be playing with the Beasts and Bronze expansion, as well as going over how to play solo, which many of us might be doing because we're still in lockdown. Along with the Kickstarter, this was the other pieces, I got a couple of additional tiles here. So let's go over the Volketh expansion first, and then we'll go over some of the more unique items that may or may not be available more broadly. So this is a great thing that they did, where you now have the ability to play the game on your own, which is good for learning. It's also nice if this other tribe that they've included, which I don't know yet, is playable as another tribe, because it's just nice for options. So we've got some cards here, which I suspect are going to be, let's just kind of go over here. Let's take a look at the solo rules. So we've got solo rules here, and the idea is to advance your tribe by scoring 15 points or gaining all 3 Bronze Age technologies. So this probably requires, doesn't seem to indicate whether that it requires anything more than just the main game. So no, it doesn't look like it does. So Volketh are a new tribe. We have the Invaders deck. So here's the Volketh tribe itself. So I guess if you're playing this as a player, what you want to play, and then playing it for the solo play. So you've got the order in which things happen, and I'm sure these tokens and everything come into play. So pillage is a special rule for the Volketh tribe, or seize. And then we've got some additional cards here, and this comes back to the that mechanic I was talking about, where you are able to, you push dice and you have the different dice. So I'm going to assume that if you're watching this, you're familiar with Rise of Tribes and how the gameplay mechanics work. I would highly recommend that you check out my gameplay video on Rise of Tribes, which I will be making next week and may go up, should go up in April. So we've got a number of different cards here, and again, these are lovely quality. I don't know the long-term survivability, like having played games like Terraforming Mars, where I've seen the cards wear quickly. I feel like if you played this game every day for, or you know, weekly for a year or so, I feel like these cards would wear down. But that's not, this isn't that type of game where you're going to play it that often, I don't think. I think a lot of this stuff will fit nicely into the Rise of Tribes Beasts and Bronze box. There was talk about whether or not there's going to be a single box container for Rise of Tribes, but they are likely planning at least one more expansion, and once that's done, then there's probably going to be, similar to Terraforming Mars's big box expansion, there will be a overall container for it. So here we've just got more cards for the game relevant to the new tribe and how things go. Although I do feel that these may be, I don't know, they are clearly labeled as V36, etc. So they're labeled, so if they are mixed in with the main game and you want to take them out because you're not playing with the Volketh or what have you, you can easily remove them from the game for that purpose. All right, it is lovely. This is a great player board, as well as the rules. I think that's a really neat design, and I'm just flipping it around randomly because I want to. I wonder, let's just see. Jason does a trial thing. Oops, on Scourge. Oh, and I just spat crap all over that. Anyway, Jason does a trial thing and sees if he can fit this into the box. So we've got additional cards here. Those do fit. These would probably fit lovely underneath. So if I pull this out, there's the Volketh cards. Yeah, I feel like this was very clearly designed to contain. Let's just do the satisfying punch of these tokens. I'm surprised that there wasn't some sort of trading token. I guess Bronze Age trading is still mostly bartering. I feel those would go there. And there might be more stuff down the road. That does not fit in there. That's sad. All right. Put the rest of that in there for now. And that is the Volketh expansion. So let's take a look at some of the more unique pieces that are available. So the Mesa set, I believe this might have even been available from the original Kickstarter. And they might have been doing this as a giveaway. Join the best tribe on Facebook for news, games, and discussions, in-game photos, and a whole lot more. riseoftribes.com/facebook.html. I feel like the .html is just weird, but whatever. It's 2021. The Mesa, you swap it with any mountain. So again, it's a tile-based game. So there's our Mesa. On this terrain, active player can have up to 3 tribe members before they have to have 3 tribe members before they gather. And it produces stone like a mountain does. So it's just a special piece of terrain. It changes the game up a little bit. I appreciate some basic things like this that are slightly more complex. And then we've got this other set, which is the Lush Valley, and I don't know if this was a Kickstarter exclusive. I apologize if it was. I'm not a fan of doing the hey, I backed this on Kickstarter flex thing too much. With my own friends, sure, but that's because I tell them about these things and they have every opportunity to do the same thing that I do. But not everyone has those opportunities, not everyone has the funds to get involved with these things. Anyway, what we have here is 3 additional hexes. Again, that much like the Mesa hex, just replace the other ones, or can be used in place of. And these are special terrain types. So there's 3 different terrain types here. We have the Invader Rock, which is this top one here. And this one, you swap it with any hex, counts as all basic hex types for goals and events, produces any mix of resources, which is very cool. It's considered wildland, cannot be triggered multiple times during a single gather session, so you can only gather on that once, which is fine. Then we've got the Island, which is this lovely piece. Again, the artwork on here, I don't know that it really... The video does it justice. I hope it does, because it's one of the reasons this game is so lovely is the art, and I will talk about that again during the how to play video. Island counts as a lake for goals and events. It produces food. On this hex, the offensive player removes 2 of their tribe members before conflict resolution. So Rise of Tribes has an amazing combat system that basically is you remove 1 for 1 and whoever has 1 left, because we're talking Stone Age, Bronze Age combat, very much battle of attrition. So when you do this, before even conflict starts, the invading player has to remove 2 tribe members before conflict resolution, which means they start at a disadvantage. So it takes at least 2 additional to attack to take that tile from someone else. And then the Lush Valley is a special terrain again. You swap it with a forest, counts as a forest for goals and events, produces wood, and the population limit is increased by 2 on that hex, which is awesome. So those are all the things that came out in the Beasts and Bronze expansion that was kickstarted in the summer? The fall. I have to say, the turnaround on this was very quick. I think at the same time that I backed this was, I did the Terraforming Mars expansion, and something else. No, just Terraforming Mars. But anyway, we're talking about like probably 6 months from the end of the Kickstarter to receiving the product. I think that's a great way to do a Kickstarter, and hats off to Breaking Games for delivering on this product so quickly. In fact, when it arrived, I was surprised how fast it had arrived. I'd like, oh, hey, they're going to start shipping soon. And then like 3 days later, it arrived to me in Canada, which is not often the case. But that's it for the review. Let's get back to my overall thoughts. All right, so that was the Beasts and Bronze expansion unboxing. I hope you saw some cool stuff. Obviously, it's available now in retail stores. I recommend you go out and get it if you enjoy Rise of Tribes. I don't know if you do. There is going to be a Rise of Tribes how to play video coming up in the near future. I'm kind of working on that script and such. And then I'll also do a review of Rise of Tribes, both with and without the expansion. It'll be like a video with like an addendum DLC thing. I don't know. We'll see exactly how. I haven't even figured out how I'm going to write that script yet. But yeah, so it's going to be fun. I hope you enjoyed it. There's going to be more board game focused content as I go through and do how to play videos of a lot of games. I know there's going to be tons of those how to play videos out there already, but I got to do them so I can learn how to do them better. So that way when new games come out, I can do them quickly. Right now, I'm still figuring a lot of stuff out, and the only way I can figure it out is to do it. And that's pretty much geekiness in its whole, just doing it and doing the work. So from all of us here at All About the Geek Studios, which is basically me, I hope you have had a great day, have a great week, a great month, and as always, remember to work your wonk, and let's keep it geeky out there.